Yay. The audio's coming through Discord though, right?
Yes.
We hope.
We are.
I don't know. Can we?
Hey chat, can you hear all four of us?
Oh, I can't even type in the chat. Oh, whatever.
Yeah, you
I'm
actually
done
have to have
with-
an
I'm
account to
done.
type in the chat.
I'm done with Twitch for tonight, except for this.
Do you
I
want
washed
me
my
to?
hands of it. No, I've washed my hands of it. I've moved on.
Okay, good. It looks like it's
There's a
daytime for
bat.
half of us and ass end of the night for the other half of us.
Oh, and evening. Oh, I don't know what's wrong with me. The COVID
List
said
one
crazy.
person.
List one. Who is the one?
I bet it's me.
It's probably you.
Probably me.
Yeah, because like I think T and I both have our mics muted on the actual guest star thing.
It's always him.
Yeah, it was me. I fixed
Yeah.
it.
No, not you, fella. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Cry. We just
was
can't
me.
hear Cry.
I can't.
It
yeah.
was you all along.
Yeah, it was me all along.
It was him all along.
My microphone got set back to default instead of
Rip.
Yeah, instead
Also,
of my
also,
I'll do it.
my specific.
also, you may want to change the name of the game.
To what?
I don't know. Not Charles Gets a Skill.
I thought I changed it earlier. All right. Okay, so we are session 0, Pendragon, RPG.
Session 0. One of these games will stick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we were meant to start it, but then Laxton decided to have a birthday, so I decided we would just.
Birthday boy.
I thought we'd just do this instead. I don't know why he needed 2 days for his birthday. To be perfectly honest, like, who needs two days to celebrate their birthday? In mind, I took a week off for mine and did nothing because it was it wasn't a lockdown, but it was last year it was a lockdown. I took a week off and we didn't do anything.
You just like weeks off.
I don't remember what I did for my birthday this year.
He turned 28.
Laura, all my birthdays are major birthdays. I consider them all to be all major.
Sir, I legitimately can't remember what we did for my birthday.
I don't remember either. I think I made you like food. Maybe.
Did we get sushi?
No, yeah, we did that like I think earlier in the week. Yeah, but that's
I don't think
my
there's
30s.
anyone in. Yeah, I was like, I don't think there's anyone in this call who's not in their 30s.
T isn't. T is 28. 29
Baby.
this year.
I'll be turning 29 soon. Very soon. my last year of my 20s, and honestly, I can't wait to hit my 30s. Everyone's like, "Oh, I'm so sad to hit my 30s." I'm like, I can't wait for my 20s to be fucking over.
I feel like I had more enthusiasm for my 30th birthday, but then I got COVID like 2-3 weeks later.
Something like
and
that.
I didn't even go and do anything fun for my birthday. At least, if I was gonna get COVID, I could have at least gone and like had fun.
He could have gone to a super spreader event. Just gave it to everybody.
Yeah.
I stayed at home and made a birthday cake for myself.
I'm annoyed at how I even got COVID because I hadn't even gone out. I must have just got it from a delivery driver.
Yeah.
And I gave it to T. Like, I hadn't even left the house. Like,
we hadn't left the house for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And a fucking delivery driver.
Yeah. I just got it from a delivery driver that I went and picked up because they wouldn't drop it off at our door, even though we all say, it's all drop off at my door. But this person is like, I can't find your house. Come out and see me. The one time I do it, I caught COVID from them.
Jeez.
That fucking luck.
It's the only way I could have gotten it. Because like I had no contact with anybody else.
That is ridiculous.
Now that's insane that you went to Glasgow, because isn't Glasgow like tiny?
It's one of the major cities in Scotland.
Yeah, but Scotland's tiny.
I mean, all of the UK is tiny in comparison, because we're in Australia where everything is just massive. Our entire state fits into the UK. The UK fits into our entire state.
But I mean, like, their city is like the same size as my small town.
I think they're bigger than that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I grew up in Texas. My sense of scale is completely skewed.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, that's only like a 45-minute drive away, and someone's like, 45 minutes? That's forever.
It's so long.
I was like, 45 minutes is like a commute to work.
Yeah.
One way.
I find it so funny how different, like, the three Western countries that are all like the same are. They're so different.
Yeah, in terms of like their understanding of things.
Yeah, they're so fucking different.
Even just different parts of this country. Like, I moved up here, and people will complain about something being a 10 or 15-minute drive away, and I'm just like, that's nowhere.
Yeah. I was gonna say, that was so weird moving up here and like telling somebody, oh, it's just about a 20-minute drive, and they're like, oh, geez, that's a long time. And it's like, I used to drive an hour to get to my
I can
sister's
walk to the
place.
next... Well, I used to be able to walk to the next town.
Every state in America is just like a new country.
Yeah, it's real.
It's
feels
50
like it,
states in a trench
honestly.
coat pretending to be one country.
Yeah.
It's real schizophrenic compared to Australia, where it's like you can barely, like, even Australians can barely tell the difference between like people from different states without, like, you'd have to say something to like pick it up. Whereas over there, even in the UK, like the different cities, you'd be like, oh, I can tell who that person is because they've got a different accent. Like, we have like the accent variations here are so minor that, like, even we can barely pick them up. Like, people from South Australia say things with a bit more of a sort of like a received pronunciation. People from Queensland say A a lot.
We sound like bogans. And I was born like right on the border, so I got the Queensland accent. Which
all
sucked.
I know is if I mention Queensland, or if I mention Queensland to someone in Victoria, or Victoria to someone in Queensland, they get mad. That's all I know.
I'm from like the border, so I was raised pretty much in Queensland, and I
imagine that's very similar to like Southerners and Northerners in the United States.
Yeah, think of it. It's basically like that, except it's turned around. So the further north you go, the more
racist.
The weird. Well, I wouldn't say. I wouldn't.
Well, that
phrase
makes
it
sense
way.
because y'all are upside down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching Taskmaster this week, and it was funny because they had to rank themselves in order of who had the southernmost, like, who was born in the southernmost birthplace, and like five of them were born in the UK, and one of them was born in Australia. They just immediately went to like the furthest south, and someone kind of looked at them and they go, "Do you think you were born further south than I was?"
Well, Thurb and I are both from Texas, and look at where we went. We went from a state bordering Mexico to a state bordering Canada.
Yeah.
That's just I would have jumped into Canada.
We drove 2 days to get away from that place.
Yeah.
That's a long trip, 2 days. Not 40 minutes.
Oh, Pat picked me up and he drove me down to Melbourne. That was 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, he drove us 3 days to get away from Queensland.
And that was on the very sort of
really
like southernmost border of Queensland. If we were further up, it would have taken us like
days.
several days more.
Yeah.
I think what cracks me up is I seem to only be collecting y'all from 2 places, which is Melbourne and Brisbane. And that's like the only 2 places I seem to be meeting people who live over there.
And you collected me from both.
Yeah. right, so let's get started with Pendragon. So one thing I was sort of like I was saying before is it's a very different kind of game in terms like of just all kinds of tabletop RPGs in that you have if you want to look at your character sheet also,
I already have, and it made me laugh.
Oh, I haven't even looked at that yet. I'm a terrible player.
If you double click the little cog icon, I think it will bring it up for you to look at.
You get the choice between knight, woman.
Okay, all right. One thing leave it on. That's one thing I want to discuss. Leave that because I'm not a big fan of the because the guy who wrote it first of all was like he's passed away now, Greg Stafford, but he was of an earlier time, but also I wouldn't say that I wouldn't actually define him as like sexist because in the book he's like, if you want women to be knights, like that wasn't what it was in the source material, but it doesn't matter. If you want that, that's fine. So my thought on that is I'm basically going to ignore the gender restrictions that are imposed by the source material because who cares? I don't think it's important. Likewise, I'm gonna mostly ignore any sort of things where they're like, oh, this is a basically stuff that was I put a follow.
Oh,
King Crabs, thank you for the follow.
Oh, look at his.
Basically anything like I'm just gonna keep like the sexuality stuff and the gender stuff. I'm just gonna say, just keep it on any of sort of like the restrictions they had back then. I'm just gonna disregard those because that's not the story I want to tell. It's not super important to the story, that's presented in the campaign. And basically, I just want people to be able to play what they want to play and not feel like they've got to stick in certain boxes because it's not fun, and that's not what role playing games are about in my mind. So I figure it's not a big deal. I
have a question though.
Yeah, what's the question?
What if you want to play Feast? What is a feast?
So first of all, stop flicking through the drop down menu. You're all knights. That's all. That's just what it is. You're not. Okay.
I want to know though.
Those other things they're things that have character sheets like when you eventually have holdings like manors and stuff that you hold as nobles, they'll have their own sort of sheets that you'll generate things through. A feast. There's like when you go to Feast, there's like a mini game where you kind of draw cards and events happen based on what you draw in the card, and they could be like good events or they could be bad things like you make a dick of yourself and end up like losing. Basically, the whole game is about the acquisition of glory, which is essentially kind of like experience, but basically you obtain glory throughout your life, and then when you die, your children will get a certain percentage of your glory. And then basically the goal is to be the most glorious by the time we get to the end of the Arthurian period where Arthur is killed, and there's a big fancy battle, and you can all choose to go out in a blaze of glory as much as you like. Although you probably will go through a few characters in the interim because the game, as we're going to run it, starts in 480 and goes all the way to, I believe, 5. Let me just find out exactly how long it goes for. But it basically goes for a long time, and you get to your 40s and you start dying of old age because it's the medieval period.
I'm surprised that you get that old.
So yeah, 565 is the last year of Hi Jazz. 565 is the last year of the campaign. So that's
I'm sorry.
What?
I needed to look up a meme because of this originally being a White Wolf thing, and you're talking about, well, they had this, but we're gonna ignore that. So I had to message a friend, and it's like, I need that meme about White Wolf.
I was very annoyed with White Wolf when they re-released Vampire the Masquerade and were just like, they just like it was the most heavy-handed like attempt at being edgy. And I'm like, it doesn't work. Like, you can't do that anymore. It worked in the 90s because no one was aware that you were producing those books, and the only people that were aware of them weren't offended by it because they just weren't the sort of people that got offended by them. And like now, like you can't do that now because now you can't release stuff like that anymore. Like some of the stuff that White Wolf came out with in the 90s for Vampire was atrocious. Just
I've only played what is it V5 or what is it the one with the 5 in it?
This recent one is V5, yeah.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people that played V20 and I know a lot of people that played before V20 but I don't know anything about the ones before. The only system I barely managed to figure out.
The early ones are kind of it was less like the systems themselves, but they're more like you'd get like books that they'd release a book. Like they released a book, because you're not actually allowed to use this word anymore, but the G word for traveling people in Europe. They released a book and it was called that, and it was the most racist like book in terms of content. Like it was just so stereotypical, the whole thing, and it's just like, and like they just like to pretend now that they never released it. They also did another one for their game Wraith the Oblivion, which is about being ghosts, and it was like a source book for the Holocaust. It was no good. Like their intention was to sort of to paint to sort of talk about that whole event and series of events seriously, but brings parts of it to light. But it's like you can't put it in a role playing game. I'm sorry. And anyone that grabs that book and is like, I'm going to include this in my like, what kind of table are you running a game for? Where they're like, that's great. Let's all sit down for that. It's like,
God.
Yeah. So
well, you already know that's why I left my last VTM group, and we all moved and made a new one where it wasn't awful.
Yeah, it's just like White Wolf just has this long history of just like they want it to be as edgy as possible, and sometimes they don't think, and they sort of came into V5, after this, ages long hiatus. Like, yeah, we're gonna be as edgy as that, and like they released 3 books, and the general public were like, no, you can't put this sort of stuff in. And then
I remember them like having to like redact and re-release a bunch of things because they released it and it was awful, and they're like, actually, no, we're gonna fix that.
Yeah, one of it took like an actual like human rights like violation in Eastern Europe, and blamed it on vampires in the book. Like a thing that happened in the past, a thing that is happening now, and they blamed it on vampires, and people were like, you can't, like, that's happening to actual people. You can't like say vampires are doing this.
Lordy.
Anyway, that's White Wolf. Anyway, but this isn't published by White Wolf anymore. It's actually published by Chaosium, who do Call of Cthulhu and what else they do? RuneQuest and Pendragon, which is this.
Yeah, I just needed to share the "it's always morally correct" meme because of that fucking drop-down menu. that drop-down menu killed me.
It's always morally correct. Oh god.
Because I immediately, ironically enough, went to my Brisbane friend and was like, I need this meme. I need it right now for reasons. And she's like, on it, boss.
For everyone that's
found it within 20 seconds.
Curious what this drop-down menu looks like, it is
amazing.
It basically it says, can someone read it out for me? Because I don't have a character sheet handy to read it from.
I got one better because I took a screenshot to share
great.
with my friend. Here you go.
So the choices for the character sheets using Pendragon are Knight, Woman, Feast, Nana, and NPC. I mean, to be fair, at least it doesn't lump women in with NPC, which is what they would generally be in the game if you were playing it, with the historical to the full historical bent. But yeah, we're not going to do that. Women can be knights. I'm looking at T's sheet now, and she's already come up with a name.
All I can think of is I said this to my friend, and my friend's like, "That's it. My new gender is Feast."
Feast. So I think Feast is there for when we run like the Feast events, because they're like important things. There's like a feast every year, and it can they vary in size, and important things happen at feasts, because it's basically just an excuse for everybody to get together and talk to each other.
Piss up.
Yeah, piss up, basically. Yeah. So what we're gonna do I'm trying to think of best how to describe this. It's a very different kind of character creation. First of all, you're not just you're playing your character, obviously, but you're also playing your character's like lineage. So like you'll eventually, your goal will be to in the game is to get glory, but also to have like a successor, and probably several like potential successors, because it's the medieval period, and they can just drop dead from a variety of wacky misfortune, misadventure, and just dying of a cold, stuff like that. So, and I'm not going to say like it has to be like the traditional method of obtaining successes. You can like say your character adopted them or whatever. We'll use the same mechanics, which is basically a dice roll. But however you want you say your character came by these potential successes and wards.
Them like Pokemon cards.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Violet, you can say like, I went out into the forest with a butterfly net and just like scooped up some peasant children and said, "You are now mine."
I lured them away with pie.
Yeah.
I want to do it the way that that samurai got the kids.
Oh, Miyamoto Musashi.
Yeah, how he like went to he was like
something like that.
He was like, "You look after that horse really well. I want to adopt you." He's like, "But I have parents."
Yeah.
No. Went to the parents. "I'm adopting your kid."
And paid them.
Yeah.
And the parents are like, "Cool. We don't have to look after a kid, and we got money for it."
Yeah. I want to do that. I want to pay someone so I can have a kid.
You want to buy adoption, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Obviously, I'll use the same mechanics and stuff in the game for that. And also to start off with, I'm going to have you guys be household knights, which is where the term Knights Bachelor came from, which were knights that lived in the Lord's castle and weren't actually allowed to get married. So the whole marriage and children element of it won't be in play for a couple of years, just so you get the hang of the game, and you also don't have to be managing a manor and stuff. Because while that part of it's fun, while you're still learning the game itself, it's kind of a distraction if you're like, you're out there fighting like a dragon or whatever, and you're like, "Oh, I hope my manor's okay." I hope my apiary is overflowing with honey and bees.
Not my own. All I can think of when you said that is because I've been binging Stardew Valley, and it was like, you don't have to worry about marriage for a couple of years.
I feel like that should be a thing, that you just don't get married for a few years on Stardew, because it's very, very hard to deal with.
accidentally already got 8 hearts with somebody in like the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, I do that too. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna make my sheet.
So
yeah, how do we do this?
you're all knights.
Mhm.
I'll walk you through it step by step. There will be a point where we generate our your family history, which will be like, you know, what your grandfather did, what your father did, sort of in the years leading up to this, and that's like, I don't know. We have to do that straight away. I think we can do your characters first, because I mean, you'd kind of want to know who your character is before you go decide who their parent is. Yes, we can do that. You're all gonna be Britons, which is basically like the
Is that the culture?
no, it's Cymru. It's Cymri would be your culture.
CYM.
I think that's just the easiest place to start. Like, there is an option to be different cultures, and you could potentially do that later, and be from like different places, like be from Ireland or be from Scotland, who are Picts at the moment. And the way it describes the cultures in the book is I find interesting. So for Cymru, it says, want to be a hardworking mainstream person? Play a Cymru. Want to be aloof, condescending snob? Play a Roman. Want to be a determined minority not quite trusted by most folk? Play a Saxon. Want to be an entertaining, friendly foreigner? Play an Irishman. Want to be a scary foreigner? Play a Pict, which is like the Scottish person back before they were Scots. Want to be a sophisticated, very fashionable foreigner? Play an Aquitanian. And they're basically a part of France now, but was a different kingdom back then. But yeah, I think everyone starting off as like native born to the area that the game is going to be set in is probably the best way to go. But there's also, like, if you die off and you decide I want to be someone completely new, we have options later to play as people from different all kinds of different places. Like even
unlock diversity as you go.
Yeah. Pretty much. Because I think it's just easier to sort of, because if you start play as like a Pict or whatever, no one's gonna like want to make you a knight, because you're like, these are people that in their eyes were like, filing their teeth to a point and like living in the swamp. That's sort of how they viewed them.
Be Shrek. Shriek.
Yeah. No, you can't play Shrek. Shrek isn't born yet. Sorry.
Shriek.
So, to that end, we will start with your personal data. And I think my favorite place to start is what number were you born in, like, your family? Because like if you're born sort of 1, obviously you're the heir apparent to everything. But if you're born like the 6th, it's very unlikely that they wanted that anything was lined up to be given to you. So I'll get everyone to roll a d6 for me, and I think that should show up on the stream.
Nice. Oh, yay!
Oh, look at you.
Oh, Sorb over here playing fucking loose.
Okay.
Oh, man.
So, all right. Well, that's so we have a Violet got a 1, T got a 3, Serb got a 6. Okay. So, Violet
We
obviously
should all be from the same family.
I mean, you could be, but it would be more fun if you were. I think if you were separate, sort of, you knew each other as like. I mean, if you all want to be from the same family, I am perfectly okay with that. I just think you've all got to be kind of the same age, though. So it's good.
I've already chose my last name, and I'm not changing it.
So Violet, you rolled for the heir. So obviously you're the firstborn child, and in firstborn
Or
child
the
is
only one that survived.
yeah.
Maybe I killed the others. Who knows?
Oh
T,
no.
T, you're actually the fourth born because the third born always goes to the church. They get chipped off to become a priest. So you're in theory you're the third because that's in like where you are in terms of the succession, but you're actually biologically the fourth child. Could you what?
Could I get myself shipped off?
Unfortunately, this edition of Pendragon doesn't allow for playing as priests.
Fuck.
It only allows for playing as knights.
No priests allowed.
Yeah, it used to allow for like playing all sorts of things, but playing as but I think the game wants to focus more on like the experience of playing as knights, and if you play as other things, you don't sort of get the full experience.
That's fair. I wanted to go Samwise.
And Serb, you rolled the seventh son, so you are like
fucked.
You are yeah.
You get nothing.
You had like a generous relative, like an uncle or something, who had no children and was like paid for you to go through, to night school. Not night school with an N, night school with a K. So you were like, so you went off to Sarum, which is the central castle of Salisbury, where you're all from. And you went off there and learned with the other knights, but maybe you didn't have as generous and wealthy a like outfit as they do, because depending on how wealthy you are, it sort of depends on how much sort of like armor and like how good your armor is, how many horses you have. But I'll say now,
I guess, Serb, are you playing a dude or are you playing a lady?
I'm gonna play a lady this time.
Okay.
Nice.
What about what's it? While we're on that topic, what is everyone playing? T, what are you playing?
I'm playing a dude.
A dude.
A dude.
A dude.
I can't even remember the last time that I did play a female character. It's been a bit.
I've never played.
I've been playing a bunch of twinks.
What about this time, Violet?
Let's see here.
Roll for twink.
Roll for twink? No, I'll play a lady.
Cool.
First time I've ever not played a girl.
No, wasn't on a stream, but you did play a male character in a Call of Cthulhu game once, and you went insane and just locked yourself in your hotel room and never came out.
Okay, second time I've ever played a guy.
Well, and maybe at the end of the day it wasn't even a guy. I mean, they never came out.
Fair.
Okay. So let me get
How old are we supposed to be?
You'll all be starting. You all become knights at the age of 21, and I want to have you become knights in 480. So let's start you at squires just about to become knights. So put your age as 20. Okay. And we'll have your first adventure. You can be squires.
Okay.
While you get the hang of
Squire squad.
Stuff. Yeah.
Squire squad.
So you're all squires learning the ropes.
So I'll get rid of the sir and I'll be squire then.
Well, they wouldn't put squire in front of your name. You'd just be your name.
And your name is just Squire.
No, I'm Squire. There you go.
Also, the culture at the time doesn't really have last names. It's more just like you're generally just
of
your
such
name.
And such.
Yeah. Or as knights, you'd be your name, son of or daughter of blah.
Okay, so I liked my last name though. Oh well.
We'll get there.
So son of.
Or if you want to go with the full sort of Welsh formatting, it would be AP. So AP.
AP.
which means son of.
Yeah. Okay. Well, when
And
I find
for-
out who my parent is, then I'll put it in there.
Yeah. And for a daughter of, it's Ferch, which is I'm sure it's pronounced differently, but it's Ferch.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Your homeland is going to be Salisbury. You're all from Salisbury. Just because I don't want to send you too far afield just yet. Or have
So-
you be.
Oh my god, my brain forgot how to spell that.
It's
S-
actually on the map.
Yeah, it's on the map. Yeah,
But my character sheet's in front of the map.
We'll just
There we
scroll.
go.
Yeah,
You can
just
move-
scroll.
You can actually move the character sheet.
You can have it open
Oh.
in a separate window if you really want to.
It's in a separate
Yeah.
window, but it
Oh.
was on top of the.
Well, that sounds like a skill
Because
issue. So.
I've got this screen with the three of us. And this screen has Serb because he's on a different window, and that one
I'm
over there
so
has.
sorry. Forgive
I'll just put the
me.
character
Twitch
sheet next to
did
Serb.
not
Look,
want to play
there
with
we
me.
go. Now you'll be less lonely. You can be over here with the character sheet.
Thanks. That makes me feel a lot better.
There you go.
Now when I talk to you, I'm just gonna be looking over here.
You can also eventually get like you can if you decide you don't want to be like just son of or daughter of, you can like eventually through your deeds like get names based on your deeds, or maybe the manner that you end up being from, or if you roll your characters particularly like strong, you could be the strong, stuff like that. You don't have, so you can. Although T, I saw your last name, and I'm not sure what traits you could have to get that last name that probably aren't illegal.
I would like the illegal one.
So you're also so you put your son numbers in, I'm assuming.
I did.
Yep.
There should be a category for liege lord.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's Sir Roderick, Earl of Salisbury. That's your liege.
Roger.
No, Sir Roderick. See, I like how you just half listened to me and you're like, this'll do. I'll put it in the Discord. Yeah, there you go.
I
like it. I find it funny. I'm not.
No, I know. I'm just
I'm just looking at you writing it through the thing. I'm gonna do some spelling corrections for you.
Okay, thanks.
Wait, are we rolling for parents now?
I don't think we're there yet. Let me see. Let me see where we are. Current class is just Squire, which current home leave blank because I'm starting you off as household knights, which means you don't actually have a manor of your own yet. You obviously will, pretty early on, but it's just I would like to sort of not have you worrying about that stuff when you start because it'll, it's better to just learn the basic mechanics first. I'll let you if you all want to be yeah, you're all squires, so you've all got your age. So your date of birth will be 1 second.
Where do we put that?
Yeah.
There's no line for that.
There's not.
This
Is there an age? Is there an age one? You've put
There's-
the
There's just an
there's
age one for a number.
Yeah, but there's no
okay.
like date of birth.
Well,
Yeah, you can't do the date of birth because it's just like a scroll where you can put like the number.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, that's fine. Don't worry about it then. So, now we're up to traits and passions. They quantify your character's inner self, recording both repute and propensity. Those two things. They help you run your character in a consistent manner and according to their personality. A value of 16 or more in a particular trait or passion indicates a tremendous interest and activity in that quality, like almost bordering on fanatical. So if you gave yourself like a 16 in like loyalty to your king, say, you are like insanely loyal to your king. If you put 16 into chaste, then you are like you are straight edge, like crazy. New characters start play with only one value of 16 in one trait of your choice. It's also possible. Note that it's possible to also hate Saxons at 16 plus. Because like you guys basically like the Saxons are your default kind of like, we hate those guys because they keep coming. They come over here from the continent. Basically, it's like the same issues that modern day English people have.
It was like, you mean like what still goes on?
Yeah, but this is back when the ancestors of those people.
The thing that we've completely learnt how to deal with, and we've completely gotten over.
Well, I mean, if you read history, you'll just discover that it's the same set of
I know,
problems over and over again.
I know, I was making a joke, but
follow these 3 steps. So we got to note your religious background. So there's 3 you can pick from. There's the, well, actually, here's the best way to describe them. You have the, where is it? Where's it gone? The British Christian, which is ours is this is this little blurb for the Cymraeg like people as their description of what being a British Christian is. Ours is the first. That's another thing I'll bring up. The game is like it's Arthurian mythos, so there's some like heavy Christian sort of themes in it, and the characters in it can be very religious. Like, you don't have to be, but that's part of it. And I'm not going to like shy away from it too much. Like, I'm not going to bother with all of the like the hateful bullshit, because that doesn't really get a mention either in there.
Also,
anyway.
like, medieval religion is way different than modern religion. There was some weird stuff. There was so much inconsistent, weird stuff going on with that.
Wait,
and this is like
different though.
Yeah, this is like the insular British Christianity that they basically, where they're like, oh, Jesus came to, in that period of time where no one knew what he was doing, he came to England and, wandered around for a bit, like, that sort of thing. So their belief of, and also they're kind of, while they don't live in like absolute like harmony with the pagans, which is like the druids and stuff, they don't necessarily, like, it's kind of like a live and let live situation. They're like, I don't, I might not necessarily agree with them, but I don't really care. So, and they all have different traits that basically are more important to them. So you've got British Christians, Roman Christians, which are kind of more in like the Catholic model, and pagans. So these are the traits that the Roman Christians sort of have as their focus traits. Is being chaste, forgiving, merciful, modest, and temperate. British Christians are chaste, energetic, generous, modest, and temperate. And pagans are generous, energetic, honest, lustful, and proud. So those are the kind of traits I was telling you about, where they go on like a scale on either side, and like the more you go towards one, the further away you go from the other one. And they kind of dictate your personality a bit. So I think you is there a place you can set your religion? Yeah,
it says a line for it.
Yeah. So basically, you could pick which one you want to go with. The pagans are kind of like the old sort of Celtic traditions that were in Britain before Romans came and brought Christianity with them. Obviously, it's changed a bit too over time because of just how, when you're not a well-connected society, and someone can take, someone picked up Christianity and wandered off into the woods with it for 300 years, and then when they came to look at it, they're like, this isn't really what we believe. So that sort of thing. But yeah, you can pick one, whichever one works for you.
Clearly, we should each pick a different one,
Well,
just for fun.
I'm going pagan.
Okay. Which Christianity do you want?
It's just going to be us doing rock, paper, scissors to see who doesn't have to be Catholic.
Well, okay, I will say also the Roman Christian.
I'll be Roman.
Yeah, the Roman Christian is not like Catholic in the sense that we would know it.
Yeah, but I'm gonna do it the way that we would know it because I grew up extremely Catholic. So I know that religion very well.
Right, then I'll pick the last one.
Okay.
We're gonna get along great.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly bickering about religion.
Yeah.
So T's a Roman Christian.
Yeah.
Violet, you're a British Christian.
British Christian.
And
Is it?
Serb, you're a pagan.
Yeah.
Right, British
This
pagan.
is gonna be
'cause it's
great.
a specific kind of pagan. So yeah, none of you are going to agree on
Nah.
on anything in that, which is fine.
And again, I imagine if I was born 7th in line, I also wouldn't be too happy with God.
Yeah, I was born 7th in line. And I'm just like, God curse you. And it's like, hey, have you heard of paganism? And I'm like, yeah.
Have you heard about paganism?
It's more likely that your whole family were like pagans, less like I'm gonna go and
Hey.
convert to paganism.
I'm pretty alright with being from a line of pagans. I'm alright with it.
That
I'll
might be
rock
like
it.
it might be like their interpretation of like Seventh Son. It might just be like they don't really have any holdings. It's just like he's just a pagan. Okay, so you've got you all. I'm gonna give you the list and put it in the Discord because you've all picked different ones.
We made it easier for you.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Basically, these are your religious traits. I'm putting them in the Discord right now.
Yeah.
For each one, and those I think if you have the opportunity, you can't underline them. I don't think. I think you can click them. No, that just rolls.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many for each one then?
I don't think nothing yet. Just keep them in mind. It's like they're your important traits. We're about
Should
to
we
go.
click the little X on them then next
no.
to them?
What the X is for when in play when you sort of roll something or I think crit on it, you put an X there because that sort of increase marks it to when you get to the winter phase that might increase. Similar to how the mechanic in Call of Cthulhu.
I am going to put a tick next to it.
Actually, don't. Well, don't do that. Instead, put the number 13 in each trait, in each of those religious traits, and 10 in the rest of them.
Okay.
Okay, so you said 13 in
13.
the big ones and 10 in
Yeah.
all the others?
13 in your religious traits, 10 in the rest. And also, there should be a trait there called Valorous. Put that at 15 because you're all valorous. Because playing a cowardly knight is not what it's about. Obviously, it has the potential to go down based on your actions, but you don't start as cowardly.
It'd be really cool to start off as a really cowardly knight.
Well, I think the assumption is if you were really high cowardly trait, you wouldn't have made it through training. You would have been like someone would have waved a sword at you, and you would have been like and bailed out.
Is it 10 in cowardly, or what do you do for the ones that are opposite the 15?
Just leave them as what they are for now, and then I'll walk you through that after the fact.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, it's a 7. Anything that's a 13 as a 7. So it's basically the difference between that and 20.
Okay, so we're 5 in cowardly.
So if your cowardly went up, your valorous would go down, stuff like that. and you also can pick one trait that is your famous trait, which is like what you're known for. Like, you know, if someone were to write a book about you or put you in the King Arthur mythos, this is what you would be like. They are known for being, you know, blank. Hey Gids, how are you?
Hey, kids.
So the 16 should go in the trait that you want your character to be renowned for. So T puts it in like cruel or
Oh yeah,
something.
you said what number to put in Valorous?
15.
15. Cool.
Yay.
Oh man, I've totally fallen asleep in the dentist chair, kids.
It's hell for me, so I've never fallen asleep in it.
I've only
So
been to
16 is in the skill we want to be known for? Or her
Yeah,
famous one?
like your famous
Okay.
skill. Like if you had to pick one of those that your character is very well known for, that's, you know, put the 16 in that skill. T's picked honest, which I enjoy quite a bit.
I'm gonna go with vengeful.
Oh lordy.
See, like,
You're a vengeful pagan. I can't wait.
So like any time, so that's gonna be like those are the things that's gonna be really difficult to resist. So like if someone like pisses you off or does something, or
Yeah.
you know mistreats you in some way, it's gonna be really hard for you to be like, that's fine. Like your natural instinct will be, I'm going to go and get them back somehow.
which is
Okay, well I'm
going
gonna put my 16 in reckless.
Which
So
is
just to make sure, so basically whatever so if we have a 13 in one skill, the corresponding one will be 7, because that's the difference.
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
basically then two numbers have to add up to 20. So
Okay.
like, yeah, the higher it goes on one side, the lower it goes on the other side.
And then what about the ones that are at just we had like they weren't part of our like
Yeah, I
they
think
weren't part of our religious ones.
I think we leave those for now, and they'll
Okay.
sort of adjust through play.
Okay.
Oh,
I
it
just
says
put-
for your first trait character, be sure to choose a famous trait that is one you can live with. Since the value shows how your character has acted in their youth, be sure the trait is in line with your intended actions and attitudes for the character, which is great because like so Violet, your character in their youth was like reckless to almost to a point of being dangerous. T, your character is always honest, and serve your character. It's like almost like never lets like any kind of slight pass. It's like, no, I'm pissed off about this.
which see being a downfall because I'm always honest. I will be telling him things that he won't like, and he might hurt me for it.
No. It's gonna be I'm gonna be the reckless one who can't keep a like I'm gonna be the reckless one that tells you the secrets that you're supposed to be keeping secret, but you're too honest to keep secrets, and it's gonna piss him off. We're gonna get along great.
No.
He's gonna kill me.
We truly are the worst generation.
But that's
just gonna be that one John Mulaney gif. Okay.
But that's the fun part about this, because like part of like the King Arthur mythos is like occasionally like, especially in this early period, which is like the King Uther period, which is Arthur's father, is very like, it's basically what they've done in this campaign is they've crammed like all the errors of like the medieval history, like centuries of it, into this one sort of like 90 or so year period. And so like the start of it is the Dark Ages, where basically, you know, might makes right. If you want to just like, you know, if you want something, you just kick the shit out of whoever has it and take it, and most likely you just get to keep it. And it sort of will progress through to like, you know, the end, it's like the high medieval period where, you know, chivalry was a thing, and like, you know, people like behaved like, you know, in a chivalrous way, and like, you know, people that had might use it to do good deeds and stuff. But the good thing about this starting era is you don't have to do that during this period, because, you know, it was a period of like, you know, everyone being an asshole. So you can be like pricks in this period, and then maybe eventually grow to become more like, you know, understanding. I mean, it's kind of unlikely that you'll live to see like that high medieval period, because it's pretty far away. And once you hit 35, you start.
Sorry, the eater.
Once you hit 35, you start making aging rolls, which basically have the potential to take away from a stat every year. And if any stat like your strength and all that stuff, if any of those reach 0, you die. So, and you can lose them from injuries and stuff like that as well. So, once you hit 35, you know, you're fighting an uphill battle to stay alive. There'll be there's a series of traits called directed traits, but you don't have to worry about those right now, because those are stuff that will come up in play. Like, you'll develop, like, you know, you might develop loyalty towards a specific person in the group, or, you know, friendship towards that person. That's a directed trait that you'll will kind of inform. Like, if you have developed a friendship with Violet, if you develop a friendship with Serb's character, then you would roll that friendship to deter, like, in certain cases, like if you had to do something that wasn't friendly, you know, you'd have to roll that friendship to kind of. I'll wait till T gets back to explain the rest. But what we're doing next is called the passions, which are the strong emotional and psychological. I thought she was just wandering around in the background there, but she's come back now.
Apparently, I accidentally closed my character sheet, so let me fix that. There it is.
Cool. I need to put this away before I drink it all.
What is it? Oh,
drink
Pepsi.
it all.
No, because I won't sleep.
By the way, quick question. What's wrong with y'all's Mountain Dew? Why is it like nuclear green?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't had Mountain Dew in a long time. Okay. So, passions are your strong emotional and psychological propensities within your individual. They're love, hate, loyalty, envy, and honor. Beginning characters all begin with 5 passions, which is loyalty to their lord, love of their family, hospitality, honor, and hate of Saxons. So you all hate Saxons to start with. You all think Saxons suck. Loyalty is the prime virtue and passion of the medieval world. Without it, the feudal system wouldn't exist. Most knights believe in the axiom king before God. Showing obedience to one's immediate overlord, which in this case for you guys is Sir Roderick, or Earl Roderick, Count Roderick.
Sir Roger.
Yeah.
Mr. Roger.
Showing obedience to them is always correct behavior, and disobedience is shocking to all true knights. Love of family is a natural emotion common to humankind in any age or culture. To most people, family equates to society in microcosm, which in turn represents their world. Everyone learns hospitality, and it's so ingrained that it's almost subconscious. Honor is the knight's special passion. All knights must retain a value of 4 or higher in honor, or they risk losing their knighthood. So stay honorable. Or don't. It's up to you. Hatred of
screaming about honor.
And hatred of Saxons is an inherited passion for all Salisbury residents because. Okay, so your loyalty to your lord is always 15. So, yeah. So I'll just read them out. Your love of family is always... Actually, everything except for hate of Saxons is always 15. So you can put all of those as 15. And then
that's not even in the list.
okay, you'll have to add it.
You have to add your hatred.
Yeah, you'll have to add your hatred of Saxons. Because I'll get you all to roll. Actually, no, because we're gonna do a family history, so we'll determine our hatred of Saxons in our family history. Because basically, if your grandfather and father and great grandfather were all killed by Saxons, you're gonna hate them a lot more than someone who's like never encountered them in their life.
I think we lost T.
Oh, she's here, isn't she? T?
Hi?
Are you here?
Okay, we just lost you in like the backstage thing.
Oh, she's there for me.
She's a spinning circle for me.
Oh no. Well, she's still coming through on my end.
It's fine. I'm generally lost most of the time.
I thought she was going to say she's generally a spinning circle.
I am also generally a spinning circle.
Oh, there she is. She's back.
Yeah. All right, so we'll generate our hatred of Saxons later. Well, you're all going to hate Saxons, but you might hate them to different degrees. So now we're going to do your attributes, which is like your physical attributes. Size reflects how, your physical bulk and relative height. Dexterity is your agility. What's the pardon?
I said I think I'm missing some things.
What are you missing?
For loyalty, love, hospitality, honor, what are those supposed to be?
They're all 15.
All 15, okay.
All of those come across as 15. Obviously they can change through the game, but they start at 15.
Okay. Now we're attributes. Okay.
You can also if you want to, you can raise one or more of them so you have 3 points that you can spend in any of those if you want to raise some, but you don't have to. So if you want to spend 3 points to raise like 3 of them or raise one of them by 3 points, you can, but you don't have to.
Be very honorable.
Honest and honorable.
Yeah.
I can't imagine any of you being like, I'm gonna make my character like just fucking head over heels for their lord, for the Earl. Like, I fucking love that guy.
I've that one already.
Like 15 is already pretty high, but like putting it like, if you put like 3 points extra into it, you just be like, I love him so much.
I literally played a squire that had an unrequited crush on his paladin. It was great.
I would find it so funny if Sir was like the vengeful pagan that was obsessed with his lord.
I love you, Lord Roderick.
We're gonna turn this game into a dating sim where we all unrequitedly are attracted to our lord.
There is a large chunk of it that is kind of dating sim. Like when your lord finally gives you permission to marry, you're gonna like go out there and be like, all right, I gotta find a suitable partner.
To kidnap.
Yeah, I gotta find some children to capture. But you've also got to find a person to look after those children while you're out most of the year doing adventures and quests and shit.
Just go out and hire a family to live with you. It's a problem solved.
You just buy kids.
Yeah, but you need like in the game they call it a wife, but it's not necessarily has to be a wife, but it's just like the steward of your estate, the person who is and you can be married to them, because then you get glory and you get their dowry, and their dowry might be like yet more estates that you can put into one big estate, and you get money and stuff like that.
Hey,
you want it's about money.
Estates.
Honestly, in this game, marriage is about money and land acquisition. It's not about actually loving anyone.
Slides into your DMs. Want to combine estates?
Well, the game
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
The game introduces like three eligible widow, or not widows, but like 3 eligible women. One of them's a widow. And it's like, and they're like these, and like all it tells about them is their name and the fact that what their dowry would be. And one of them's like a because the way it worked back in this period was a woman could get after a woman had been married 3 times and widowed, she couldn't be forced to marry anybody anymore. She could choose to marry for love at that point, provided she'd had 3
No wonder
husbands.
people killed their husbands.
So yeah, so like this, there's widows like that sort of around that have like these big dowries because like their husbands died and they didn't have children, so like the manors passed to the wife, and you're like, if you and then they will pass to you if you, yeah.
Imagine marrying someone though that's husband mysteriously died twice.
We 2 different
Or
husbands.
then you find out you're like the 4th one.
Yeah, no, you're the 3rd because she can only be forced 3 times.
Well, it'd be okay provided you didn't find out that she also had like someone that she really was attracted to but wasn't able to marry. You're like, oh no. Oh dear. Okay, so you get 60 points to distribute among the 5 attributes, which are size, dexterity, strength, constitution, and appearance. The minimum you can put... okay, so the minimum size you can have is 8. The minimum dexterity, strength, con, and appearance is 5. And the maximum for everything is 18 except constitution, which is 21. And you can divide your 60 points up amongst them how you see fit.
Okay.
I definitely heard a lot of numbers and I didn't retain any of them.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm the same.
Okay, give me a second.
I heard 60, and that is
Right. Okay. Give me a second. You have plenty of points to work with. Okay, so all right, so this is like the recommended minimums. So put if you want to do this as the recommended minimums and then add from there. Would that be a good idea for you guys? Just for
yes,
yeah, let's do that.
I think
Okay, so put your size as 11.
11.
Okay.
Your strength is 10, and your constitution as 8.
Yeah.
And now you have 31 more points that you can allocate between dexterity and appearance, as you see fit. So, and you can't go higher than 18 on them, or you can put it on the other ones. So, but yeah, make sure to put some, because you can't have your dexterity or appearance be lower than 5. So you've got to put something in them.
Oh, 31. So then I've got 11.
Okay.
1.
Sorry, I hate. This is kind of why I don't like allocation, like point by. Also, a note on appearance. You get a number of distinctive features depending on how low or high your appearance is. So like 10 or 12 is kind of like average. So you only get one distinctive feature, but if you go lower than that, you get more because they're like ugly features. Or if you go higher than that, you get more that are like, traditionally attractive features.
Right, who's gonna be our cute as fuck party face?
I've got 12 in appearance.
I'm vain. I put 18.
Zerb always going for those strength charisma builds.
just the like the pagan that comes into town with like the
luxurious hair.
Luxurious.
I mean,
hair.
Jose literally has all of that hair.
It's like this extremely attractive girl, like 20-year-old girl who is extremely vengeful and will just like kill you if you just like look at her wrong.
Like 18 is high, but like the characters in like in the campaign in like from the King Arthur stories that are like, the most attractive woman in Britain, like Igraine, they've got like appearance ratings of like 32 and stuff like that. Like they're like, you know, they're the ones that have like, you know, these ridiculously high appearance traits. So like you'd be like extremely attractive for a mere like non-mythical human being.
People are gonna see your character and be like, oh, they have nice teeth.
I'm like, oh, they have teeth.
Teeth.
That's good. Good to have teeth.
Nice.
I like there's a little sidebar in the book that says no intelligence rating. No attributes are given for intelligence or any form of wisdom, astuteness, or wit. That's because it's a knight's duty to act, not to think. And then it's like, all kidding aside though, since a player controls every character, it is the player's intelligence that dictates the character's goals and actions. Not an arbitrary number. The player is the character's intelligence score.
Worrying.
There's a reason I've been playing dumbass martial classes with intelligence dump stats, because COVID brain. I just hit real good or stab real good.
You're lucky you have the excuse of COVID brain. I don't have that excuse.
Let's see here. Where do I want to allocate my my remaining points, and why can't I add up to 60 in my head at 4 a.m., 3 a.m., whatever?
Why don't I do what I did? I just put 18 in one and then 13 in the other, and I called it a day.
Cool.
So just think of that, 18 and 13.
In
then,
what?
Well, I just put 18 in
oh.
appearance and then 13 in dex, since those were the only two that were
Okay,
left.
I'll do the 18 in dex and the 13 in appearance. There we go.
We're not at that part yet, but I do want to bring up, in terms of skills, there are skills that are considered non-knightly skills where you actually lose honor if you use them. like things like if you like, you know, start doing like let me find a good example of a non-knightly skill.
Look, with the way our stats are arrayed, it'll just be sexy and dexy. And then whatever T is.
Like fashion, like knowledge of fashion is considered a non-knightly skill, so you wouldn't want to use it because it would be you would lose honor. But you may want to hire someone to live on your estate to make clothes for you who's good at fashion, and like that's their job. You don't have to do the fashion role because you have that person to do it for you, and you don't lose any honor for doing it yourself.
You pick out your own clothes? How passe.
Yeah, basically anything that's not like fighting, preparing to fight, or hunting is really not like.
If it doesn't involve putting the pointy end in the other person.
Yeah. Also, reading and writing is its own skill, so if you don't have that, you can't do it.
That's great.
You don't necessarily need to do it. You can have like a priest that lives on your land and does it all for you.
You can just trust that they're telling you the truth when they say it, that it says this.
That's what a lot of people did. Just like, hey, I've got a letter. Go get the priest to read the letter for me. And the priest will be like, it says
Look,
this.
I'm sure there's so many translators that helped us avoid near wars.
But what I find funny is like the priest being like, yeah, it says this, and the people will be like, well, obviously the priest can't lie because God would get mad at him.
God would strike him where he stood.
Also, you can all add +3 to your constitution because that's your cultural modifier as Cymraeg people. You're naturally hardy. So
excellent.
Instead of 8, it's 12.
Yeah.
Or wait,
11. Sorry.
11.
Yeah. The true fantasy experience: having a hardy constitution.
Yeah. You need one because combat's not very forgiving in this game.
No, because we just humans.
Yeah. And war in this case, you know, you go fighting in wars and the wars are just running horses into spears because Saxons love to use spears. That's like their weapon that they're most skilled with. And historically, spears are not good against horses. Oh, spears are good against horses, so you just get like you're basically running yourself into big fences of pointy sticks.
I'm still trying to work out how you guys got 18 on any of your skills.
I don't know. I just trusted. I trusted that Sorb was telling the truth.
And that's how I understood it, was that we had those leftover points. So then...
Yeah, 31 points left over to spend however you like.
Yeah. Well,
So I just put 18 in one and then 13 in the other, and I called it a day.
Yeah, but I've smoothed all my points out, so all my points are very like even.
But it's supposed to be like a total of
Total of, yeah.
Tia's playing Sir
Okay.
Default.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to have 60
All
between all five, right?
Yeah.
60 all up.
In my defense, it is like 3 in the morning where I am, so my decision making probably isn't on point.
I mean,
But I'm
I
having fun.
can't do maths in my head to save myself.
Oh, I used a calculator.
Yeah, and it's not. It's
Look,
a weird
it
thing because
just
it's not that I'm
means-
not good at it. It's just that my brain hates it so much that I just can't focus on it when I try to do it.
I love the idea that means Sorb just went with the base minimum size of 11 and is just this tiny, terrifying pagan woman
Well, the minimum
who will
size.
snap you in
The
half.
minimum size is 8, so
Okay.
slightly bigger. I can actually tell you what size means. There's an appendix that tells you what size means.
Is it 8? Because I think you said 11.
8 is the minimum.
No, that's the
11,
recommended.
11 is the recommended because you're knights, and it's
Gotcha.
not recommended to be. So 11 would be around 111 pounds, and like a corresponding height that would be considered healthy for that, I guess.
Yeah,
So
I'm
we're just both kind of little.
smaller than that.
Hmm?
I went 10 because I wanted to be up in strength.
We're tiny crew. You know what? Yeah. You know what? I'll put mine
Tia's
down
playing
to
a Tia's
10
playing
as
a
well.
short king.
I am playing a short king. Yeah, I am.
Nice.
Short kings everywhere. That's what I'm playing.
And it's done all your derived statistics for you. So
Yeah.
I've played so many twinks. I don't need to play any more short kings.
I'm not being a twink. I'm being strong as fuck. I'm like,
Just like a little
You're a tonk.
You're gonna be like a little nugget man, just like
yeah. I'm huge.
You're built like a you're built like a mountain dwarf or something.
I think it's called brick shithouse.
Sir Brick of Shithouse.
Yeah.
Sir Brick, please. Can we just call you Sir Brick?
Yes. Yes, you can. My name is Percival, Sir Brick Shithouse.
Sir Percival to Shithouse.
Yep.
It's
Okay.
way too late to be laughing this loud.
So you've got your derived attributes; they're already worked out for you. But your damage is that reflects your potential to do harm to your foe, which is worked out by your size and strength. Your healing rate is how quickly you recover points. Your movement rate is how many yards per melee round you can move. Your hit points is what hit points usually are. And unconscious threshold is basically at what point you sort of fall unconscious when you get... If you lose like a certain amount of hit points, like I think the hit point the unconscious threshold is if you... So like in T's case, if you lose 6 hit points in one go, you go unconscious, I think. Every time any character hits... Oh, so if your hit points fall below 6, T,
Mm-hmm.
you pass out.
Sweet.
So like you've got 23 hit points. If they get below 6, then you are unconscious.
Oh.
And for appearances, what's everybody's appearance statistic?
12.
So, okay.
13?
Okay.
18.
So, okay, so T, you pick one distinctive feature. Actually, if you roll 1d6, I can tell you what feature it is. If you would rather do it, you can pick, obviously, for yourselves. But if you want to roll 1d6 each instead, I can tell you what. T, you roll once. Violet, you roll twice, and Serb, you roll 3 times. It's a d6.
All right.
I want my distinct feature to be I'm a brick shithouse. But yeah, I got 4.
Okay.
Ooh. 6 and 3.
Okay. So T,
Yeah.
your speech is your distinctive feature. So
I'm charming as fuck.
Well, it's
How
more
do
like
we
more like the
all roll-
sound of it. It's more like the sound of it. So it's like you might have like a very like a powerful sort of a charming voice. Yeah, a charming accent maybe or something like that.
None of us rolled the same number.
Great.
Good.
We have a 6, a 3, a 2, a 1, and a 5, and a 4. None of us rolled the same feature.
So Violet, your 2 features are limbs. So something striking about your limbs.
You're lanky as fuck.
Yeah, and your other one is your facial expression. So it might be like bright-eyed, nice smile, straight teeth, something like that.
Teeth.
And Serb, yours are body. So like something about your body. One is something about your hair. So you've got the long pagan hair like I was talking about.
Yeah.
And 5 is
and we just did like a head toss right there unconsciously.
And 5 is a facial feature, so it could be like high cheekbones, that sort of thing.
Right,
you could cut someone with those cheekbones.
I'll put high cheekbones.
So we've got cheeky, leggy, and shithouse.
I pick when just thinking of T's character, I picture like that scene in Wizard of Oz where like the lollipop guild munchkins and they're walking like with their arms like and they got like really deep gravelly voices and they're moving their arms like in front of them like this when they walk, and that's just how I picture T's character walking around just like and having like a really deep voice.
You know what? This trait has always served me well in the past. I'm gonna give my my knight soulful puppy eyes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm just imagining.
Go ahead.
I'm just imagining like those bodybuilders, but like a really like short bodybuilder. Like because all bodybuilders do kind of look very like
wide.
Yeah, they're very like big and muscly, but they're very short.
Like a little hockey puck kind of person. Just very compressed, vulcanized rubber that's like really tough, but like pushed down into a very.
Well, yeah, like they're compensating for something.
All I could think of is like we're basically those like 3 background characters from the freaking Mulan.
Yeah, except I'm the short one.
Yeah.
I like that
I'm the leggy one.
Yeah. I like that the women in this are gonna be taller than me.
That's how you are a short king.
Yeah.
Yep.
We love a short king.
Yeah.
You are our short king, and we shall defend you.
I'm gonna go.
Our short liege.
Our short liege?
The smallest sovereign. Let's see. I went with high cheekbones because I just kept that. Hair? I just put red hair because I'm like.
Well, that would be sort of an unusual sort of thing.
You have that fiery like red hair.
Yeah, fiery long red hair.
And people just think you're Irish.
Body.
It really plays into the whole hothead trait.
Yeah. I'm not sure about body.
I don't know.
I'll just leave it there for now, and
Yeah.
I'll eventually figure something
I
out.
got it. Thick with 26 C's.
Okay, I'll write it.
That's why you're so attractive. You got that hip.
Okay, so you have like some base skills that you'll start off with, and then you can add some extra stuff to it after. But for starters, when you're ready to enter the numbers, I'll read them out. They're in alphabetical order.
Okay.
I think they're in alphabetical order. Yes, they are. So your awareness is 5.
C.
Put 1 in boating.
Water vehicles, always important. Look, someone questioned why I took a proficiency in water vehicles once, and then I made it. We had a situation. We had to use a boat. No one else knew how to use it.
Put 1 in compose. So that's like, coming up with poems and shit. Obviously, put it in a better way than that. Put your courtesy at 3. Your dancing at 2, so you can do a little dance. Your fairy lore at 1, so you know a little bit about fairy lore. Obviously, you can increase these later, but this is your falconry at 3. So you've practiced falconry. First aid at 10.
I'm just going past the.
Oh, right. We're just skipping fashion.
Fashion is a non-knightly skill. You shouldn't know how to do it. Flirting is 3. Flirting is a knightly skill.
Oh, yeah.
Well, between T's muscles, my legs, and Serb's hips.
I'm just imagining you all in one giant suit of armor trying to impress someone.
We're 3 people in a trench coat pretending to be a knight.
T's character's on the bottom because he's super buff but short. It's just
It's why are your feet so little?
Okay, so we did folklore is 2.
That is a knight skill.
Yeah, gaming is 3. So you're all PogChamp gamers. Your heraldry is 3. That's knowledge of you see it, someone's banner and you're like, oh, that's Sir Fucksty.
That's Sir Fuckface from that country we hate.
Yeah. Let's kill him. Your hunting is 2. Your intrigue is 3. Your orate is 3. So it's your ability to give speeches. So there should be one called play, and then where it says play name, put harp in. You have 3 in the ability to play the harp. That's an important part of your knightly education, apparently. You can all play the harp a little bit.
That's great.
Where it says read, type in Latin.
Not surprising.
And then put a 0 because you can't.
So we learned to play the harp, but we did not learn to read Latin.
Yeah. Well, someone else does that.
Who the fuck was teaching us?
Various people. The way it worked is if you were going to be a knight, at age 7, they sent you off to be a page somewhere. And,
they didn't teach us very fucking well.
You've been moving around, between different teachers ever since, till you became squires. So put your recognize skill at 3.
I recognized that I wasn't taught very well.
Someone thought learning to play the harp was more important than being able to read. Religion, and then put your character's religion. So, T, your Roman Christian, Violet, your British Christian, and Serb, your pagan. And then that's a 2. The next skill is romance, which is 2.
Must romance, can't read.
Obviously, you can raise your reading skill later. Singing is 2.
But can't read.
Can't read the music.
And then your stewardship is 2.
Again.
So you know how to run an estate, but if someone wrote down like what's owing, you'd be like, I can't read this.
Yeah.
Would you like to hear
Where
me
is
play the
my
harp?
bill
I'm quite
reader?
good at it.
But
and
don't
then
ask me to read sheet music.
and then swimming and turning are both at 2.
So,
20.
Okay.
So now we just put your combat skills in 2, which I think are in a different area. Battle is 10. Horsemanship is 10. Sorry.
Couldn't learn.
No, you're good. I just had to find it. There it is.
Lance is 10. Spear is 6. And dagger is 5.
What about sword? We missed sword.
Oh, sword was 10.
Okay, I was going to say, how the fuck did we not learn to use a sword?
Yeah. I do find it like, so you can see where like your training was focused. Like they taught you the basics of how to like look fancy at like a feast, but basically what they want you to do is kill shit.
Nick with 26 Cs. Hang on, I gotta show y'all what mine looks like.
High cheekbones, TM.
Also, I'm guessing, sir, that you figured out how to use screenshots on your new computer.
Yeah, it's the same way as work.
A point in fairy lore, but no one taught us how to read said fairy lore.
Because you don't need to. Your job is to kill shit. I don't want you reading stuff and being like, oh,
yeah, you might like become not ignorant.
You might read a book about Saxons and realize they're people too, and then you wouldn't want to fucking run your horse into them.
Oh man, I read this like paragraph about Saxons. Like, they got a bad rap.
Why would we need to know dancing and fairy lore?
Because we're supposed to be charming.
Those are the important skills.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Can't believe you don't think fairy lore and dancing are very important.
Look, as an American, this is not surprising to me in the slightest.
This is the American education system.
Honestly, yeah.
They're teaching you falconry and fairy lore.
Well, there is. I actually did watch a news segment in America where they were like, "Oh, should I spend money on going to Reykjavik and learn how to go fairy watching?" And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's like $5,000 to go and like hunt for elves." I'm like, "Elves don't exist."
Fuck, I would love it if someone gave me like, thousands of dollars to go and like look for Sasquatch or something. I'd be like,
but also, because
I didn't find him.
Where that is. It's his birthday today.
If I didn't find him, no one would be like, "Oh, you didn't use your funding properly." I'd be like, "Yeah, I did. I just didn't find him." He's elusive. That's Sasquatch. Okay.
We know where Sasquatch is. He's currently having a birthday.
You can choose any knightly skill and make that your skill that you excel at, and that you get to put 15 points in that. So it would be a total of 15. So if it's already at 10, then you would add 5 and make it 15. So I think to know what knightly skills are, I think are they marked on your sheet? No, of course they're not. That would be easy. Fucking god damn it. Knightly skills. Are you also so knightly skills are basically things that are important to being a knight. So not reading and writing, T.
Where? I'm guessing it's like combat skills.
So yeah, like awareness is one.
Okay.
Courtesy is one.
What?
First aid is one.
Okay.
Hunting is one.
Yeah.
What else is one? There's not many more in there. And then the combat ones, like battle is one. Dagger, lance, horsemanship, spear, and sword. So all your combat skills and then a couple of other ones. You can pick one of those to be at 15.
Okay.
Sword is a good one for that.
Yeah, but it's already at 10, so I'd like to have like a gap, one that's like lower. I could excel more.
Like a spear
So
or a
I'll go
lance.
with sword.
Then you can only increase it by 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I want to increase something by more.
Pick awareness and make yourself super aware. Just
I would. So what was it? So it was awareness, and then there was, what was it? Falconry was one?
no. The night ones that aren't combat that you have is awareness, courtesy,
Stupid.
first aid, and hunting.
Okay.
I think.
Hunting. Yeah, I might go with hunting then.
I guess I'll take awareness.
Then you can pick any 3 non-combat skills and make and put them at 10. You can't increase any non-knightly skills. So things like fashion and chirurgy, which is surgery, like an old way of saying surgery, they can't be. Well, just tell me a skill that you would like to raise to 10 and I'll tell you if you can or not.
And it can't be a combat skill, you said.
Yeah, non-combat skills.
Okay.
It can't be first aid because first aid's already 10.
And it can't be writing, I'm guessing.
It can be.
I mean reading.
Yeah, reading and writing is it's not a knightly skill, but it's not a non-knightly skill. So you can absolutely raise reading and writing to 10 if you want to, and be able to read and write.
I would like to read. Thank you.
Okay.
I think read will be one as me as well.
What about intrigue?
I too would like to read.
No, I know. Romance. What about romance?
Romance. Okay, so romance is. Let me check.
How about dancing?
Romance is a knowledge. It's the romance role might be required to know how to approach a woman for the first time, how to properly avert one's eyes, to properly kiss a hand, wrist, elbow, or other part of the body, and most especially,
So it's etiquette.
What is the best etiquette specifically relating to courting?
Wooing. The art of the woo.
Most especially, what is the best type of present to give a lover?
Can I do that?
Yeah.
This really is just Stardew Valley, but for nights.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between romance and flirting?
Okay, so flirting is
I ask myself that every day.
It's more your style.
Its primary purpose is to gain the attention of a member of the opposite sex, or in the case of our game, anyone. Success would it's the more lustful variant. Romance is like, oh, I'm courting you as my potential marriage partner, and flirting is like, hey!
Flirty is just going, I'm sexy and I know it.
Yeah.
I think that would fit in with mine because I do have.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely a more pagan.
Lustful. Yeah.
You gotta put those 36, those 26 C's to use. Is dancing one I can put to 10?
Yeah. Dancing is not considered non-knightly.
Okay, so I picked reading, I picked dancing, and I gotta find something else. Boating! It's always served me well in the past!
You're like, I love the boats! The skill allows you to handle watercraft, whether a rowboat, a skiff, a coracle, or a Saxon longship. Success indicates that the
butt at some point.
Success indicates that the boat did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, see, that's the save or suck skill. I'm gonna know how to use a boat.
I would
do
falconry for 5. I mean for 10.
Falconry.
Yeah.
Falcons and hawks can be trained to hunt birds and other small prey. Yeah, that's one you can do.
Yay.
Sorry, Serb, you had a question?
Yeah, what about tourney? I mean, I know what a tourney is, but like, how would that apply to the game?
Okay. Tourney is used to understand the correct procedures, customs, and behavior of the spectacle of a chivalrous entertainment known as the tournament. although I'll point out the tournaments in the Dark Ages aren't like the jousting tournaments that will happen sort of later in the game. In the Dark Ages, it's basically we rope off a field and then we just all run at each other and beat the shit out of each other until there's a winner.
Gotcha.
So it's less chivalrous. Chivalry hasn't really been
Yeah.
invented in the starting period that you're playing in now.
It's Fight Club.
Yeah.
No, it's not. There's no such thing.
We don't talk about it.
All right. So I took one. I can read. I can flirt. Would be another good one. Because you took dancing.
You can also
Gaming.
take.
You could sing, or you could play an instrument.
I feel like someone should take fairy lore.
You could play.
I'll take fairy lore.
Yeah, fairy lore's.
Oh wait, no, is that not a non-lightly skill?
Actually, hang on. It might be one you're not allowed to pick because there are some that
Yeah.
you aren't allowed to pick. Let me double check. Where's my?
Clearly, you put it in playing the harp because you end up the bard who's not a bard in every single game we're in.
The two knightly instruments are the lute and the harp. There's other non-knightly instruments like bagpipes, which you can't put it. You can't.
Yeah.
Put
You can't learn bagpipes.
because it's not considered knightly. Okay, so no non-knightly skill can be augmented. No trait can be raised above 19, and no passion can be raised above 20. Individual skills can be augmented by several steps. Okay, yeah, you can increase fairy lore if you would like.
So what would fairy lore entail?
Fairy lore is basically just like, because like it's the game is like a mythic sort of setting, so there is like magic and stuff does happen.
Okay.
And
It's not to, eat or drink anything the fairies give you,
Yeah.
or step in their circles, or
so how much you know about the mysterious ways of fairy and the invisible world of the other side.
Yeah, that sounds sick.
So
I'll
maybe
take
used
that.
to identify particular types of fairies, recognize a fairy encounter if it is one. Because like you suddenly wake up in like some weird castle and they're like, "Hey, eat this." You could roll this to be like, "Hang on,
wait a minute. Also, I don't know what Gids laughed at, but there was a lot.
I just like it's got a whole list of non-knightly instruments. There's only 2 instruments that are considered knightly. And the non-knightly instruments are bagpipes, double pipes, drums, flute, horn, recorder, and trumpet.
Recorder? It's just, rock up with an ocarina. A rock arena. There we go.
All right, so
Still,
you've got that skills. Are you missing a third skill, T?
No, I got them. I got romance, I got reading, and I got first aid. Oh wait, no, falconry.
Look, we ended up in a boat. I got us.
Look, that's how we became friends. We all decided we wanted to learn to read.
Yeah.
And we were the only 3 kids that actually wanted to learn how to read.
Yeah, it was very important for us. We were like, hey, we're learning all this stuff, but we can't read to learn. What if we read? And that makes learning easier.
And once your knight was done beating you with a stick,
trying to teach the person above us that if we could read, maybe learning would be easier.
Okay, so
just a thought.
You now have the option to heighten any 4 unique statistics, and I'll explain what that means. If you choose to heighten an attribute score, if you choose to heighten a skill or a combat skill, you increase it by 5, noting that you can't go above 19, I don't think.
Okay.
And if you increase an attribute score like your strength, dex, or constitution, your traits like your loyalty and stuff, your traits like your honor, the ones we did at the start. where they balance out between 20. And your passions, you can increase them by 1. You can do this. So it's really. I know this doesn't make sense, and I'm trying to figure out a good way to explain it. If you want, you can heighten 4 anything on there. You can heighten. You have 4 heighten points basically. Yeah. You can heighten anything on that sheet. If it's
4 sets of 5.
No, but if it's skills, it's 5. If it's anything else, it's a 1. Okay. So if you want to heighten a skill, you increase it by 5 points. If you want to heighten like an attribute, you increase it by 1 point.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or you can heighten your passions or your traits or whatever. You want to make yourself more loyal or more honorable or more hospitable. That stuff.
And I don't think any of us took heraldry, did we?
No.
You
got a 3 in it, which is actually comparatively high.
It's funny if none of you had it. None of you had it, and you're just like someone comes up and they've got like this big flag with like an eagle on it, and you're like, I think it's
what animal is that again?
I think it's the king. It's like no, the king has two dragons. It's like no, it's the king.
I'm gonna put 5 in that.
All right. So sorry, could you run by? So the skills.
Yeah. If you want to increase any skill, provided you can't increase non-knightly skills, you can increase. It increases by 5. If you want to increase anything else, it increases by 1, and you can do that 4 times.
4 times. Yeah. So
Swimming.
like, could I do 1 skill and then like 3 attributes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I see now.
Yeah. No attribute, no trait can be raised above 19, and no passion can be raised above 20. So 19. Okay. So passions are your loyalty to the, and your love of family, hospitality. The traits are your like personality traits, where it's like you can't have like a 20 in one and a 0 in the other. It's always going to have like 1. Like that can change in gameplay, obviously, but to start with, you can't do that.
What would intrigue?
19 dex. Heck yeah.
What would what?
What would intrigue do?
Intrigue is like, sort of getting gossip at court, which you can
politics.
Like, you can sort of like, oh, so and so is planning to, it has like, several manners that part of their dowry, and and that way you can get like the inside track on scooping up a widow in your butterfly net.
Okay, I'll increase that one. That seems useful. So that's 1, and then the attributes can't go higher than what now?
19.
19.
It's a trait, which I believe trait is like the personality trait. So I think your other stuff can go higher if you wanted to. Your attributes can go high, but I don't think you'd have enough points to make any of them go higher than that. Except for appearance, maybe.
I'm nervous.
I put 1 in dex, so my dex is now 19.
But your attributes have their own limits as well, which is like your attributes can't go higher than 18. Except anyway.
Oh, okay.
Your constitution can go to 21 because it's got that +3 bonus on it.
So the dex can't be higher than 18.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll up dex by 1 to make it 14. I don't know if that made a difference. Anything? No. Okay.
I put 1 in swimming because that seems important.
You can put
to
5.
Not dying.
You could put 5 in swimming.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I put 1 of my 5s in swimming.
Yeah, I was going to do that, but then I thought horsemanship.
You guys, I feel like the first thing you guys are going to do is find a boat and just become like seagoing knights.
Yes.
We patrol the King's Ocean. That's our job because we can read.
They're like out on the.
Because we can read. We're the only ones that can like actually deal with the pirates because we know how to read.
They're out on the beach, like, please come back. You need to come and fight at this battle, and it's inland. You're like, no.
In the Navy.
We're the Navy. We're the Navy.
We're just the Navy.
Hating the Navy.
Let's see.
No, I
What
just
would be-
boosted my combat skills.
Oh yeah, we could. So like, could I up sword again?
Yep.
And then would that be by 5 or by 1?
5.
So 20?
You go to 19.
19. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just be really good with the sword. All right.
Chop, chop,
Yeah,
chop.
I went to 15. So and then I have battle at 15 and horsemanship at 15.
Yeah, I'm gonna put battle at 15.
So what's the difference between battle and horsemanship?
Battle is basically like when you're leading, like as a knight, you might be leading a group of soldiers, and that would be sort of what you roll. There's like a battle system in the game where basically you and the enemy commander that you're fighting against roll battle against each other until the intensity of the battle gets like it goes over a threshold, and that's when things start to break down. And horsemanship is just the ability to sort of use a horse, race around on a horse, things like that.
I'll take battle up to 15.
We're all just really good at battle.
Yeah.
But we're on the ocean.
Yeah.
So we know how to read and we know how to fight.
Yeah.
And we're friends because of that.
Yep. We're the only ones with any sort of like tactician skills. And we went and fucked off to the ocean.
We're not going to the ocean. Do you see where we are?
I will say there is an adventure at some point in the first 10 years of the game that will involve going on the ocean. So you will get to go on the ocean.
Vindication.
Not necessarily staying on the ocean, but you will get to go on the ocean and experience the ocean.
I may die drowning.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's just because, you also float like a brick.
Yeah, T just sitting on her horse on the deck of the ship.
I might need to get myself some children before I go on this adventure. Go buy some.
No, you catch children.
No, I buy them. Violet's the one that catches them.
Okay. So have you all done your 4 heightens?
Yes.
Okay, so now you can add 10 more points among any combat or non-combat skills of your choice. That's like individual points, so...
Okay, 10.
Yeah. So, yeah, and all the same restrictions apply, so you can't put it on non-knightly skills, and they can't go above 19.
Okay, well, I'll just put 3 in swimming just in case.
You're now hearing how excited Violet is to go on the ocean, you're like, I better increase my ability to swim.
Look, all I'm saying is... Oh yeah, I guess I'll put 5 more in boating and 5 more in
I've got to feel really bad when like there isn't like a boat adventure every year. Like you're gonna be sitting there with like your arms crossed like the land.
No, but the one time we do have a boat adventure, we won't die.
I think the one time you get in a boat, you're never gonna get out of it, and you're gonna end up like sailing to like Greece or something.
Should I put more in swimming?
You put it in what you'd like to put it in. Like I don't want you to like I don't want you to be so afraid of the boat that you've made your swimming really high.
I'm scared.
All right. So I increased flirting, I increased awareness, and horsemanship.
Yeah.
That's what I did with my 10 points.
I'm gonna increase first aid. That seems important.
Especially when I drown. You're gonna have to save me. Yeah.
Why do you call him Sir Brick? Because he floats like one.
Yes. So I've used 5. What else do I need to know? Do I need to know? I still want to put more in falconry. Don't ask me why. I just want to be really good at it.
You just want a falcon.
Yeah, I'm 15 in falconry now. I'm really good at it. Okay, I'm good now.
It's okay to be good at falconry.
I just really want to have like a falcon that attacks people. Oh, there's a child outside.
Why?
Never mind. It's
Go
not.
get your net.
It's not a. It's not a child. It's a dog.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was.
Go get your net.
Okay, go get your net.
I thought it was a child. It's just a very high pitched dog. Oh, I found Windsor Castle.
Sorry, I still haven't like 100% settled on my name, so I'm over here clicking a night name generator, and one of them they gave me was Bible the Friend.
I saw Bible as a name as well.
I'll give you guys the list of like Cymraeg
I still can't
names.
get over Cymraeg.
It's Cymraeg.
I
It's like-
know,
It's
but
Raeg.
it sounds like Cymraeg.
No, it does, but it's not.
There we go. We've got Libby the Honorable, and then Tibby the Enigma.
Libby the Honorable.
Libby and Tibby.
Libby the Honorable.
Yep.
Where is it?
There we go. Anchoretta. That's why I'm fascinated with boats, because someone named me Anchoretta. God, these are great.
I'm trying to find there.
Okay, I'm pretty sure this is not how it's pronounced, but it definitely looks like it says Whose Wife the Angel.
Whose wife? Whose wife?
I like that name for you. That's funny.
Which name?
Whose wife?
Whose Wife?
Well, here's a list of 1,000. Okay, I'll put it in the links in here. That's a list of 1,000 male names. And here's a list of 1,000 female names.
Does this mean I have to change my name again?
Well, you can find one that sort of.
No, you're Sir Brick. You will always be Sir Brick.
I think Percival was a Cymraeg name anyway. Most of the knights at the round table were. Percival was already.
Is there one? Is there Brick?
Yeah.
There is Brick.
Is there Brick?
Yeah. BRIOC. Brick.
Pronounce Briac.
Brick.
Briac.
I like
It's like the song, He's a Brick.
Briac. Ow. Yeah. His name's just Brick, but with stank on it.
Yeah, it's Brick. Brick.
Is that what you're going with? Briac?
Yeah, Brick.
Briac.
I love it.
Sir Brick.
Briac.
Sir Brick. I love it.
And do you want to pick your dad's name while you're here too?
Oh, okay, yeah.
You're looking. I'm pretty sure you're not going to find Shithouse or a name that's like Shithouse.
I will try.
I'm going to jump ahead and look just to make sure. Yeah, I don't see it. Good.
I'm still gonna look.
Yeah.
So you just gotta see if there's something close to dung.
There might be Shithouse or shit.
Highly stylized spelling.
Check F feces.
So it doesn't say what Briac means as a name. It just.
I know.
So we haven't.
It doesn't look like there is any shit.
Yeah, there's not. No.
Is there any poo?
Oh. There's Powell.
Pole.
Let me check T for turd. Turd.
Turd.
Welsh people wouldn't like that you're doing this to their language.
I'm sorry, but it's fine. And I'm pretty sure some Welsh people would find it funny.
I'm sure they would.
I'm friends with a few Welsh people. That's why I think they'd find it funny.
There is a turd wall or a tood wall, I guess. I read an R there that wasn't there.
Where is that? What number?
I lost it. 962.
62. Okay.
Somewhere down there.
Tudwall.
It doesn't.
Tidwall.
Tudwall.
Tidwall. That would be pronounced Tidwall.
Damn it.
Well, I mean that's pretty close to, wall.
But I feel like your motives are corrupted in what you're trying to do here.
I know.
Water closet. Is there a water closet?
Okay, well.
There's Wooloo.
Wooloo.
Oh, there's one it's Owen, but it says O'Wine.
Owain.
Yeah, I think that's where the name comes from.
O'Wine. I love these names. They're cool.
Owine.
These are actually really cool names. I just want to find like a cool one at least. Maddoxon. There's so many names here that I went to school with.
Yeah.
There's a Gwynloo.
Let's see. There's 284 lines, so I'm gonna roll a D284.
I don't know what that is.
Boy. Let's see what you get.
Hang on, where's the? I want to bring that up so everyone can see it.
155. What is my prize?
Gwen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir Gwen. You're hoping for it to come up with something more wacky and off the wall.
Hey, it's Gwen with 2 N's. That's got some stank on it. Gwen the Tenacious. There we go.
Brioc.
Brioc. You picked out a title too?
Yeah.
Man, I'm behind.
What are you?
I just picked out a name.
You're not gonna roll, coward?
No, I'm not gonna roll.
I'll roll. But I've got.
But you're Brick. You're Sir Brick.
No, for my father. I've got 1,000.
Oh yeah.
I've got 1,000.
I should probably roll for my father, huh?
Yeah.
How many lines does the
1,002?
Oh, right.
How do I choose? How do I choose how many?
You want to just do a random number generator?
No, I want 1,000. How did oh
/ roll 1D 1002.
Okay.
So wow, I got 967.
What was how do you roll?
/roll.
/roll.
Yeah. Then I do
1D 1002.
1D 1002. 580.
I think I actually got like the TWEDWR, so I think it's Theodore?
TWE.
Teodor, I think.
Teodor? What is it? Tudor.
Line. Oh wait, I picked 967 and I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm looking at the column as opposed to the actual like. Oh wait, no, because
Theodore.
Why is that?
Teodor.
I got Gower.
I got Here Isle.
GWY.
Here Isle.
Uriel?
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 No. 594 is what I got.
All right.
594. What is that? Scroll.
Hereisle means long brow.
Here Isle. That's
Here
who my dad is.
6. What'd you say? 6 what?
594 is what I got.
594.
Here Isle.
Oh, you're looking at that one. Okay. Well, if we're looking at that one, then what was mine again? What did I roll? I rolled 967. So let me look at 967 in that column.
And when you're all ready, roll a 1d20 for me.
That one's even harder to pronounce.
Sorry, what was that about 1d20?
Just roll a 1d20 for me, and I'll tell you what you get for it.
My default dye color is so obnoxiously pink. I love it.
Okay. I just keep rolling 4s.
Just keeping track here.
That is like burn your retinas fuchsia. I love it.
Right. So these rolls are for like family heirlooms or basically extra belongings that you get.
Oh.
Okay, so I'll tell you what you've all gotten. Serb, you've got an extra. They're not all heirlooms, by the way. You have an extra Rouncy, which is a kind of horse. So you have that. So on top of this, the horses and stuff that you'll get, when you're a knight and things.
Mm-hmm.
You have an extra one, which is like not the properly sort of. A Rouncy's a small horse for riding and carrying equipment. That's like it's not quite a war horse because it hasn't really been trained for that, but it's like it's better than like the pack horse that carries provisions and stuff. The one you'd ride around because you wouldn't ride your war horse from place to place because it's kind of they're kind of unruly because the way you train war horses is basically by traumatizing them and making them completely inured to things like loud sounds and blood smells and stuff like that. And it's basically like you don't want to ride that around because it's upset. So you got that. T, you have an extra Librum, which is like the unit of currency, which is pretty good. So you have one. You just have an extra Librum of money, sort of tucked away in your little purse.
Where do I put this?
I don't know if there's a currency. There's a place to keep currency.
There's equipment
Libra.
carried.
Yeah, equipment. You've got equipment at home on a page on your holdings page, I think.
Okay.
And you put where it says Libra, just put 1 in there because you've got some money.
I can't see.
You can. It's on the bottom where it says equipment at home. It says denarii, shilling, Libra.
Denarii, shilling. Okay, 1.
Yeah, just put 1 under Libra, so you've got that. And Violet, you have a family heirloom. It's a finely decorated saddle, which is worth 1 Librum. So you have a nice saddle for your horse.
Cool. Where do I put that?
Just put that under your where would you put it?
Travel gear?
Yeah.
Family saddle.
Yeah. So it's like, it's something that was passed down through your family. Okay. So now you get to do if you roll a d20, again, we pick your family characteristic, which is a thing that your family is naturally good at.
I rolled not a 4.
So T rolled a 9. So you get T. You can add a +10 to your dancing skill because your family is naturally light-footed.
Okay. So +10.
And it means it can go higher if it goes over whatever. That's fine.
Okay.
Violet,
I got
your family it has keen senses, so you go at a +5 to awareness.
That's gonna put it at 20.
That's fine. It can go over in this case.
I have broken the 20 barrier.
And Serb, your family are good with horses, so you get a +5 to horsemanship.
Oh, that raised me up to an 18.
Yeah.
I'm so aware.
Cool. Okay. And I think we're going on to your family knights. So you determine your family knights, but so these are basically your relatives who are knights, whether they're uncles, brothers, other relations. They're noted as being either old, which is over 55, middle-aged, which is 35 to 55, or young, which is 20 to 35. Only the numbers of each type are needed now, not their individual names or other informations. So everyone, first we'll determine how many old knights you have. So roll a 1d6, and then we take away 5 from the result.
1d6. Yeah.
Okay, so you have no old knights.
Hey, and this is I found where this is.
Yeah. So none of you have old knights in your family.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
Serb
isn't-
killed them all.
Now roll a 1d6 and take away 2.
1d6.
-2.
Okay, so this is middle-aged knights, is it?
Yeah. So you have 2 middle-aged knights, and I think.
I put the -2 in there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So T has 2, Violet has 1, Serb has 4 middle-aged knights. So just mark down that you have that many, and we'll work out their details later.
It's in army on the holdings page.
Yeah. Although they're not really your army yet, but they will be. But that's later. And then just
So I have 2.
and then just a straight 1d6 for how many young knights there are. So and in the young knights add 1 because that's you in your family.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Sweet.
yeah, and then it'll give you the total family knights that you have.
8 total family nights.
No wonder you were 7th in line.
I have a total of 9 family knights.
So now we do your other lineage men. Other men of your family, not themselves knights, can still be useful in a fight. They are never well armed and are generally unskilled at fighting, but at least they won't run away immediately upon being attacked. As family members, they have much to gain in any family victory. So that's a 2d6 plus 5. And that'll just be other non-knights. So other lineage men.
So it's 12.
Well.
Man.
Those dice, like, glitched into each other.
Mhm.
So apparently I have 12 other lineage men.
Same as me.
And then we'll do a levy, which is basically you go through your holdings and you get every single person that can like hold a weapon, even if that weapon is like a stick, and then and that's your levy. And they're generally not great soldiers, but also these numbers won't account when we start because you're going to start as household knights, but you will get holdings, and then when you get your holdings, this will be what's in the holdings. So that's a 5d20 to determine how many random people.
Oh boy.
5d20?
Yeah, because this is just your levy, which is basically just peasants that you rope into fighting for you.
Oh, I almost got the funny number.
Oh, Violet, you made me laugh.
Look at all those bright pink dice.
All right, so you've got your levies now. Yeah. You'll get more over time. And now we do your
68
history.
meat shields.
Yeah. Keeping in mind, you can't just like call them out all the time. They're more for like if the king's like we're going to war, and you're like, you have to bring your levies. It's not really fair. You know, you can't really just go like, I'm going off on a quest. I'm bringing all my levies, because if you do that, then there's no one left behind to like make money off your land. Which is, you know, an important thing. You want them making money. They're more useful to you, like farming than they are like hitting people with sticks.
68 farmers.
Okay, so now we'll do your histories, which is always fun. Your great grandfather died sometime shortly before your grandfather was knighted. At the time of his death, his glory was as follows: 1,000 for being knighted. I'll do this calculation for you.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, I'll tell you what. There's a generator for this online that maybe you can use.
Okay.
Pendragon generators. Because maybe you can just use this to roll a history for yourself.
Heck yeah.
Because it might be better than It might be better than going through it individually. Although, I mean, I find it fun to go through individually, but that's just me.
Would do it, but it's getting like
Yeah, that's true.
sleepy time for tea.
Yeah,
And for the Americans.
that's true.
It's 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Here it is. Okay, so
I can just see Sturp's eyes like drooping.
I'm hanging in there.
Okay, so I'm putting the link in the character creation Discord. And there's a table, we'll say Father's History, year 485. Okay, so we're starting in 480, so we'll actually cut that off.
485.
I'll adjust it a little bit on my end, but it should give us the
Long or
basics.
short version?
Long version. That's the fun version.
Okay.
You just hit generate.
Yeah, and then then if you can, or generate PDF and then just send me the PDFs because I can put them together for you.
Oh, generate PDF. Okay. And then I send to you. Okay.
You can
Or
just
just
copy
say-
the link and
Yeah, just upload them into the or the generate PDF, then just save the PDF and then just upload it into the character creation channel.
Where's that?
The one that I've been putting all the links and stuff in.
Okay.
And it'll basically tell you like what your grandparents did, you know, where they died.
There you go.
I'm confused. But yeah.
Violet, your grandfather didn't live very long. He was killed by raiders like 4 years into being a knight.
Desktop.
But he got 13, 15 glory.
Okay, got it. There we go.
And obviously, like, you'll get your share of this glory.
Look at this name they tried to give me.
What name?
Well, it's like you were born year such and such. Aurelius Ambrosius.
Aurelius
try to give
Ambrosius
me a
was
name.
the king. He was like the
Oh,
king.
okay,
Yeah.
that's the okay, never mind. I thought for a second it was trying to give me that name. I was like,
No. He was the former the high king, and he did a bunch of stuff before he was killed. Okay, so give me those, and I think we can wrap it up there, and I'll calculate your glory and stuff for you. And when we next meet, I can do the we can start with our first quest as little squire fellows.
sexy and Dexy.
Yeah.
Sexy, Dexy, and Brick.
Yeah. Reok!
That should be the name of the campaign, Sexy, Dexy, and Brick.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to this.
It's got it's a good game. It's very interesting.
Oh, right. Next week. Thursday is a holiday for us. Friday is a hell day for us.
Yeah, that's
Serb, are
fine.
you going to be able to do the thing?
We can move it if that's if you
Basically,
if you need.
Serb is forced to work Black Friday.
Yeah, I wouldn't ask you to like play and then go to work immediately after.
I'm thinking about it. Like
terrible.
right now, I'm leaning on no, but like it's a mid shift for me, and like I don't sleep past 9 a.m. even if I try.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about showing up that night, but right now I'm putting myself down as no because I'm
Okay.
like I should probably be responsible, but the other part of me is like I might be up anyways.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one thing to like go on 4 hours of sleep when you're just going to veg out at home,
Yeah,
and then go on 4 hours of sleep to a Black Friday shift, which is the most nerve-wracking shift of the entire year.
Yeah. I'm just thankful I don't have to close it all that week. It's just mid shifts or opening
I'm
shifts.
just thankful you don't have to deal with actual people like in person.
That's nice as well. But
You
yeah,
just
but yeah, I'll say that I'm probably a no for next week, unless like something miraculous happens.
Okay.
But yeah, no, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do a raid now, and I'll let you guys go and sleep and rest in T's case. Thank you, everybody.
sleep, go back to Stardew Valley, whichever. I have been good. I haven't played Stardew Valley at all since 6 a.m.
Night.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you. Yeah, I'll work out what we're doing, and we'll work it out. It's all good. We'll let everyone know before then. Okay. Thanks, everyone.
It was fun.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, stream.
Have a nice time.
And I believe we've rated.